Good morning, children. Today, let us learn Unit 5. The name of the lesson is Blessed Wolf. But before that, let us read some hard words and the meanings. The first word, white fang. Second one, hopeless. Third one, anticipated. Fourth one, lightning. Fifth one, despairing. Sixth one, companions. Seventh one, patience. Eighth one, snarling. Ninth one, intelligent. And the 10th one is immediately. The meanings. The first meaning, snarling. The word snarling means making an angry growl by animals such as dogs is called snarling. The next one, harness. Ropes or straps fastened around an animal in order to pull a heavy load. Next, clutches, tight grasp. Next one, incredulously, doubtfully, that means having doubt. Impulses, sudden desires that make someone want to do things. Next, bristle, to become stiff or tense with anger. Next, crouched, lower the body close to ground by bending legs. Despair, without hope. So you have some more meanings. You can go through the text and learn the meanings from textbook. Now let us go to the lesson. The lesson is all about a wolf, and this is a conversation between two people named Weedon Scott and Matt about a wild wolf, how he had been injured by other dogs or people. Here starts the lesson. It's hopeless, said Weedon Scott, and someone had already tamed it. The word tamed means not dangerous. He glanced at White Fang, straining at the end of his chain, snarling and eager to get at the sled dogs. The dogs had been away with the club, said Weedon Scott. He may be a wolf, but he has been tamed, said Matt. And there are marks of a sled harness on his chest. Then Scott said, we will have him for 2 weeks with us and see if any changes would happen or he is wilder than ever. Matt said, why don't we let him loose for a while? Matt suggested. He may never have had his freedom before. Then Scott looked at him doubtfully and said, I know you tried it, but you don't take a club with you, Matt said. Then Matt got hold of a club and then went near White Fang, the wolf. He observed the wolf snarling and bristling, but watching the club intently as Matt moved his hands towards his neck and said, see, he doesn't dare attack me while I have the club. That means he is used to it. And White Fang crouched. That means he just lowered the body close to ground by bending legs, but kept his eyes on the club and the hand. White Fang could not believe that he was free. That means he was always in a cage where he could not come out for these many days. But when he came near to the Scott and Matt, they gave him freedom to come out and see the world around. So he could not believe that he was free. He padded a dozen feet away from the men and stopped. He anticipated beating. That means he thought that they will beat him, but they did not beat. They just left him free for some time. He had never been set free by Smith. This was a person who was taking care of the wolf before, but he was always beating it and he was not taking care of it properly. That's why it came out of his house. And on the roadside, when Scott and Matt saw this wolf, they thought they should take care of them. That's why this wolf came near to them, and right now it is with Scott and Matt, and they're taking good care of it. So that's why he says he had never been set free by Smith except to fight, and then had been immediately caged again. The person whose name is Smith, who was Smith, he used to beat him and fight with him, and he used to cage him again. Then White Fang thought, what was this new trick that was being played by the human? When nothing happened, while White Fang walked further away and paused. He was puzzled. Won't he run away? Asked Scott. We have to wait and see, said Matt. Poor devil, said Scott. What he needs is little kindness. Yes, children, we have to show our kindness to the animals. We should not beat them. We should not hurt them in any way. We should love the animals and you should take care of them nicely, especially like dogs, pet animals like dog, cats, etc. They'll also feel pain just as human beings experience. So Scott went into his cabin and came out with a piece of meat which he threw to White Fang. All these days he was not eaten anything. That's why Scott went inside his cabin and bought him a meat and gave him to eat. Before Matt could react, one of the sled dogs, Major, leaped forward to get the meat. Another dog on the street, he came and tried to take that meat, but Matt's shouted warning was too late. White Fang, as he was very angry, he just jumped on the sled dog and his throat was slit by the angry wolf and he lay bleeding to death on the snow. I was wrong, said Matt Scott in a despairing voice. And after some time, White Fang crouched. He went into his cabin and came out with a piece of meat which he threw to White Fang. This I have already told just now. Then after some time, he looked out his revolver and started loading it. Now it was Matt's turn to plead for White Fang and says, let's give him a chance. As you said, Major got what he deserved. He went for White Fang's meat. Then he tried to kick him for something that he did out of instinct. He's been through hell. We must give him time to recover, and if he's still no difference, I will kill him myself. He has to recover a lot because all his body are having wounds on him. All right, sighed Scott, putting away his revolver. I really don't want to kill him or have killed him. Let's keep him loose for a few days and show him only kindness. He then walked towards White Fang, speaking softly and soothingly. He has to get used to kindness, not threats, says Matt. After some time, White Fang watched as Scott approached. He had killed these dogs and bite one of his companions, something that deserved severe punishment. Scott came closer and then his hand started descending. When he was doing that, Scott saw Matt bring the rifle out. Rifle means a gun, and asked Scott, "What are you doing?" He said. "He must have more time. It's my fault. The change can't happen in a day." Then Matt said, "No, I said I would kill him if he attacked again. He is ready to kill this wild wolf if he is going to attack any one of them." He picked up the rifle. Scott noticed White Fang snarling. He was looking at Matt, not Scott, and says, "This fellow knows all about firearms. He is pretty intelligent," says Scott. Then Matt replied Scott, saying, "Watch," said Matt and brought the rifle to his shoulder. But before he had completed his movement, White Fang had vanished behind the cabin. And after some time, the next few weeks proved to be a learning experience for both Weedon Scott and White Fang. With great patience and infinite love, Scott persuaded White Fang to shed his fear of him. He succeeded in getting him to take meat from his fingers. He talked to White Fang soothingly, kindly, and for long hours. The day came when Scott brought his hand down again on White Fang's head. White Fang crouched low, his senses alert, a deep growl emanating from his throat. He controlled himself from springing, but it was a huge effort. The hand descended and began stroking his hair. Scott continued making soothing noises. When this god rubbed the space between White Fang's ears, he experienced a pleasing sensation. This was a brand new feeling for him. Slowly, he developed a liking for Scott. After many, many weeks, the liking turned to love. This means after a few weeks, the wolf became a friend of Scott and he was listening to Scott and he trained him nicely with all the love and kindness. The Scott took care of the wolf lovingly. First, he liked, afterwards, he became a very close friend of Scott and Matt, both of them. This is a story, it is adapted from White Fang by Jack London. So then this is a story about a blessed wolf. Hope you understood the lesson. If you have any doubts, you go through the lesson and learn the meanings and the hard words. Now let us go to the question and answers. We have 8 question and answers. You should learn them, which are very important in your exam. Now we have some grammar part in the lesson. Read the following sentences carefully and fill in the blanks with the correct option. We should fill in the blanks with the correct, they have given the options. Any one word you should write correctly in the blank. The first one, your voice sounds very strange. The first one, sounds, is the correct answer in the blank. Next, Anita takes her 2 dogs for a walk every evening. Takes, plural words, not the singular word. You should use the plural word, and some words also have single word that you have to fill in the blank. So these are the fill in the blanks that we have. Now when we go to the question and answers, we can read from the lesson. You can make the question and answers and read from the lesson. The next section we have is the poem is about Lily Bell and Thistledown song. This is about the bright morning, everyday morning, what we'll do and how the day goes with the sunlight, with its brightness. So I'm going to read for you. Awake, awake for the earliest gleam. Gleam means shine brightly, especially with reflected light. The light rays. Every morning we'll see a bright sun which shines on the rippling waves that brightly flow beneath the flowering vines. Rippling means moving with a small wave or a series of waves on the surface. Awake, awake for the low, sweet chant of the wild bird's morning hymn comes floating by on the fragrant through the forest cool and dim, then spread each wing and work and sing through the long bright sunny hours o'er the pleasant earth we journeyed forth for a day among the flowers. Awake, awake, for the summer wind had bidden the blossoms unclose, had opened the violet's soft blue eye, and awakened the sleeping rose. Hymn means a song or a poem written in praise of God or a country. Then the word vines means climbing or trailing woody stem plants. The next one, slender. Slender means lean, to take support of on anything is called slender. And lightly they wave on their slender stems, fragrant and fresh and fair, waiting for us as we singing come, together our honeydew there. Honeydew means a sweet substance excreted by aphids, small bugs, on leaves and stems. Then spread each wing and work and sing through the long, bright, sunny hours o'er the pleasant earth we journeyed for a day among the flowers. So this is a poem we have. The next section we have is match the following. We have to match them with the correct opposite. The first one, ascend. Ascend opposite is descend. Approve, disapprove. Next, artificial, natural. Fourth, courteous, discourteous. Next, wild, tame. Employer, employee. External, internal. Generous, stingy. These are the opposites that we have. Now let us go to the question and answers. We have 5 question and answers that we read in the poem. The first question is, where does the sunlight gleam? The sunlight gleams on the rippling waves of flowing water. What comes floating by on the fragrant air? The pleasant chirping of the wild birds that seem to be singing waves hymns of praise to God came floating by through the gentle breeze. Next one, what do you think makes the air fragrant? The fragrant is probably because of the wild flowers that have bloomed near the flowing waters. Next, describe the effect that the summer wind has on the flowers. In the poem, the summer wind seems to be awakening all different flowers out of their slumber and making the gentle breeze. Next, who do you think are the speakers of the poem? Read the poem carefully and answer. The speaker is a bee, as they said that the flowers are waiting for them to come and suck their honeydew. Next section we have the fill in the blanks again. We should write this suitable question tags. We should write the question tags for this sentence. The first one, you were at the library, weren't you? Is the answer. Next, you can't go there alone. Can you? Is the next one. Rishi is a good boy, isn't he? So like this, we have many see and learn from them. We should add the correct question tag to the proper question. This is all about the 5th unit. Now let us go